FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont. Back here with another video. We got some more sports news and information for you guys today. Before we break down this particular information, make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. We drop all types of new media. If you're new to this channel, again, we drop news, breaking news, sports-related news, entertainment. Again, we have content that suits almost any viewer or viewership group. So again, if you want to stay in tune with the information that we put out, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you always tune in with us every Friday and Saturday when we announce our giveaway details and the winners of the giveaways. And again, if you haven't seen yet, check down below of this video. See the merch line. If you like any merch, make sure you buy your merch. The first 20 people that purchase merch are going to be entered into our Las Vegas sweepstakes. You can get the details from that down below, but make sure you go down, buy some merch, get your entry into that sweepstake. And again, again, we're just a growing channel right now. But today we got some very interesting news. This is something that happened about a week ago. I wanted to do a video on this sooner. I was just kind of waiting to see how this information kind of populated. And I wanted to see what the reactions were from the NBA community. We really didn't get a humongous reaction because I'm assuming it just didn't get much traction. But I just wanted to kind of put this out here today and just give you guys my thoughts and reaction to Donald Trump's response to the NBA players who are kneeling in these bubble games. And I'll go ahead and break down my stance. I know I did a video before on Jonathan Isaac choosing not to kneel. As I stated in that video, I definitely did not have a problem with him choosing not to kneel because he had his own personal reasons to do so. And we understand that, everyone's different. Everyone has different feelings about this country. Everyone has different feelings about the anthem and what it means for them. Jonathan Isaac explained why he didn't want to kneel. The same thing with Myles Leonard. Myles Leonard, is definitely in support of the social injustice movement and making change. He chose not to kneel for his own personal reasons. We're not necessarily bashing him for those reasons as well. So with Donald Trump, someone who's definitely been highly critical of players who kneel during the anthem, I'm really curious to see what he has to say about this particular issue. And as we do with all reactions, man, as we break this down and as we listen to it, we'll stop it and pause it as need be to address anything that we hear that's very interesting. So let's go ahead and get started with this video.
So now it seems that standing is the new kneeling, in that only 3 players in the NBA, Jonathan Isaac, Myles Leonard, and a coach, Greg Popovich, are actually standing for our nation's anthem. Your take on the state of the league?
I think it's disgraceful. We work with them. We work with them very hard, trying to get them open. I was pushing them to get open, and then I see everybody kneeling when during the anthem. It's not acceptable to me. When I see them kneeling, I just turn off the game. I have no interest in the game. And let me tell you, there's plenty of other people out there too. And Black Lives Matter. Nobody's done better for our black community than me. Nobody, and that is, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln, it's true. Criminal justice reform, opportunity zones, best employment numbers in history, every single what I've done. And again, nobody has done more for the black community by far. I always say nobody other than, I'll give the one exception, Abraham Lincoln, okay? But even that, to be honest with you, but nobody has done more than I have. But when I see people kneeling during the playing and disrespecting our flag and disrespecting our national anthem, what I do personally is turn off the game. And the ratings for the basketball are way down, if you know. And I hear some others are way down too, including baseball, because all of a sudden now baseball's in the act. We got to stand up for our flag. We have to stand up for our country. We have to stand up for our anthem. And a lot of people agree with me. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose an election, okay? And that's okay with me. But I will always stand for our country and for our flag. That's what.
All right, that's a very interesting take. Interesting take from President Donald J. Trump on what's going on with the NBA. All of the players are choosing to kneel. And just based on what it sounds as if, Trump, obviously Trump is self-glorifying himself for a lot of the things that he's done or says he's done for the black community as president. I do commend him on making some of those changes, if those things are true. I know that a lot of these bills and legislation and policies, these things take years and years to actually come to fruition or actually reveal themselves. So hopefully some of the things that he's implemented or enacted are actually helping the black community. I do applaud him on that if that is the case. But with regards to this particular issue, I think once again Trump is missing the boat, because I think we are now far past the rhetoric that kneeling during the anthem is disrespectful to the flag. As we clearly see now, kneeling during the anthem is not disrespectful. It's actually a symbol now. Kneeling during the anthem now is a symbol, a symbol to those that sacrifice, their careers, when kneeling during the anthem to bring up issues of social justice and police brutality in this country. And because when players like Colin Kaepernick took a knee, a lot of people shunned him. Black community, white community, politicians, non-politicians, a lot of people shunned him. The NFL blackballed him. It cost him his career. It cost him millions of dollars. And then when we watch George Floyd get killed because a police officer kneels on his neck for 8 minutes, well, there's a lot of symbolism in that. And I think it was very ironic that this police officer killed George Floyd by kneeling on his neck for 8 minutes. So essentially what a lot of people who missed the boat the first time around, the reason why they're kneeling is to show that, we definitely did miss the boat, and we didn't really fully understand these social issues the first time around. But by us kneeling now, we're definitely on the same page. And I think, with blacks and whites alike, I think especially for the whites or the black people who didn't kneel before, I think this is why they're kneeling now. It doesn't have anything to do with the flag. It's just about saying we definitely understand what the problems are, and we're definitely going to work together to find a change. Again, I appreciate some of the things that the NBA has done. The NBA has just signed off on a deal to dedicate $300 million over the next couple of years towards black employment and black empowerment with regards to hiring in the NBA. Again, this is one of the things that I wanted to see. I wanted to see the NBA put their money where their mouth is, and it looks like the Players Union and the NBA have come to an agreement that's actually going to help the black community. So I think President Trump, and again, I highly doubt that President Trump actually sees this or even cares, but to all the President Trump fans, what you need to understand is the kneeling now does not represent any type of disrespect towards the flag. Just ask guys like Myles Leonard. Myles Leonard is choosing to stand. He's choosing to stand because his brother's in the military, and out of a sign for respect for his brother making that sacrifice, being in the military, he's choosing to stand for the anthem. No one is bashing Myles Leonard for that particular decision, because at the end of the day, we know that Myles Leonard has come out and expressed his concerns and his willingness to help for these social issues. But he's also expressed that due to his own personal stance and feelings about the anthem and the flag, he's choosing to stand. No one's bashing him on that. But to come out and say that this is just disgraceful, for President Trump to say that, what that shows is it shows a lack of sensitivity towards some of the social problems that this country does have. And if you can't be honest, again, that's what we at FYF Sports, we talk about this a lot. It's about removing Trump. You got to remove your feelings from this, because again, your feelings when Colin Kaepernick kneeled, again, you were highly emotional about it. You went to name calling the man on Twitter. You went to go into Twitter battles with people about this. This is an emotional topic for you, and especially as the president of the United States, you have to find a way to not be as emotional about these topics. And what we have now is we have a highly sensitive and a highly emotional president who doesn't understand the climate that we are in. He doesn't understand the symbolism of why the players are kneeling now and what it actually means and what everyone's looking to do. No one's doing this as a sign of disrespect for the flag. And I think it was a bit misleading for these Fox News hosts to even bring Greg Popovich's name up in this particular issue, because we all know that Greg Popovich is one of the oldest coaches in the NBA. The reason why he can't kneel is because of his age and his inability to get up and down just like that. When these players are kneeling, they're kneeling during 2 national anthems. They're on their knee for almost 5 minutes. A lot of the players are saying that they're having to switch their knees because just being on one knee that long starts to get painful. So obviously, Greg Popovich, that's not something that he can do at his age. All right. So again, I think Fox News is just being a bit deceptive when they start bringing names up like that, or even when they bring Jonathan Isaac into it. Jonathan Isaac has clearly come out and state that there are social issues and injustices that need to be addressed. He just doesn't feel that kneeling is the proper way to address it. And again, he further went into it by even citing his faith and religious beliefs that back his stance. Again, no one's knocking Jonathan Isaac. When people ask you these questions, whether you agree with the kneeling or not, what people want to hear is, are you understanding? Are you aware? Are you sensitive to some of the issues, the social issues especially, that are going on in this country that need to be rectified and need to be rectified immediately? And that's what we haven't heard from President Trump yet. So by President Trump's kind of self-glorifying himself, talking about some of the things or bills that he's passed for black people. Well, again, I haven't seen anything that directly affects me in my life. I know a lot of other African Americans who haven't seen these direct things. There are a lot of people talk about tax breaks and jobs. Well, I run my own business, so again, creating more jobs, again, that doesn't necessarily affect me directly. I run my own business. The only thing that I've seen is I pay more in taxes this year than I ever have before. So again, Trump needs to stop playing the political game, and again, just use more common sense. But at the end of the day, when we look at people like President Trump, or when we look at some of these billionaires or some of these NFL team owners or NBA team owners, I honestly don't expect these guys to be able to relate to some of the day-to-day issues or social issues that we see going on in the real world. Because when you're a billionaire, you're not living in the real world. You're living in your own bubble, and you have a completely different perception of life when you're that rich. And Donald Trump also falls in that particular category. Again, his lifestyle has put him in a bubble to where he sees things from a completely flawed perspective and not a perspective based on reality. And that's evident in just some of the things that he says, some of the things that he's done. With regards to groping women and then justifying it, or at least trying to justify it, publicly. These are, again, we know that President Trump has a lot of issues that are not based out of reality, and that's just probably primarily based on how he's lived his entire life. So again, President Trump, I think you are definitely taking the wrong stance on this particular issue. I really think you need to just do a little bit more research on what's going on. I think you need to take your biases and emotions and feelings that you have against the Black Lives Matter organization. You need to take that out of the picture, and you need to actually look at the statement Black Lives Matter and separate that statement from the organization that I know you despise, because they have two different meanings and agendas. So again, FYF Sportsman, we just here to bring you this news. President Donald Trump, it seems to be on the wrong side of history in this particular matter. Hopefully that can change. With this being an election year, a lot of polls are showing President Trump losing in a lot of major states. So again, I don't know if being president for a second term is something that he honestly wants to do. As he just said here in this video, his stance may cost him the election. I don't think he necessarily cares. So, again, this is what we expect from the president of the United States at this point in time. It's definitely not surprising, which is also another reason why I don't think we saw a humongous response or kickback from NBA players. But FYF Sports, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think at the bottom of this video. Let me know how you feel about President Trump, if you are for, if you're against him. Let me know what you think about kneeling during the national anthem. Is it disrespectful? The one thing that I know is, according to the U.S. flag code, it's not disrespectful. And there are a lot of things that we all do, including President Trump, that actually disrespects or violates the U.S. flag code. So for him to go as far as saying that kneeling is disgraceful, well, that's definitely sad, being that we've seen him violate the U.S. flag code a number of times, and all you have to do is Google it to find out for yourself. But FYF Sports, again, we'll be back with another video soon. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Please engage with us on Twitter, Instagram, all social media platforms. As long as you do that, we'll keep reaching back out to you. Again, take advantage of all these sweepstakes and giveaways that we got going on right now. All you got to do is buy merch right now. If you buy merch, whether it's one item, whether it's 5 items, you're going to be entered into our Las Vegas giveaway sweepstakes. Again, you don't want to miss out on that. 20 people are going to be entered into that sweepstakes. You want to be one of those 20 people, to get free airfare, free hotel, some spending money, free food while you're down there in Vegas. On a 3-night stay. Again, you don't want to miss that opportunity. You don't want to miss that partnership giveaway right there that we look forward to giving out pretty soon here. All right, but FYF Sports, another great episode, and we're out.